It is a beautiful morning. It is August 23rd, and I'd like to just walk you guys through the vertical garden here and show you what's growing. The weather has been perfect, like mid to high 70s, low humidity. I can tell that fall is just around the corner, but we're supposed to get some more heat this weekend, but I do appreciate the little break in the heat that we've had this week. Now over here, I showed you guys my cucumbers in my last video. I like to grow the little Persian cucumbers. They have a lot of flavor. They're thin-skinned. Now this particular variety does succumb to disease at some point, but right now they're looking really pretty, so I'm going to show them off for you. I've been picking so many cucumbers, and I have a load in the refrigerator. I also have more that I need to get today because I think I mentioned that these things seem to double in size overnight. But they are just wonderful. And I'm growing the top in the leaf tier, and then the other tiers are original, so they're much deeper. They're doing a lot better than in the leaf, but I thought I would give it a try and see, because sometimes they've done well for me in the leaf, but I think that the original does much better. Okay, now over here I have Tulsi Basil and fennel, which fennel has not grown or done hardly anything this year. It's just staying the same. Maybe it's waiting on a little bit more cooler temperatures, so we'll see if it takes off for me. And then the Tulsi Basil is looking great. I'll probably dry that for a healthy tea this winter. It has such a wonderful scent to it. It's like a cross, it's hard to describe, a cross between maybe cloves and some kind of flower like a rose or something. But it smells just wonderful. So I will always grow that from now on. It reseeds very easily as well. So it's probably one of those type of plants you grow it once, you'll always have it because it will reseed. Okay, so a lot of green beans growing still down here and cucumbers. And then the beautiful dahlia. And I have a lot more blooms popping out on here. So this is my first year, as I've mentioned before, growing this flower. And I'm growing it in a tomato planter. It's a self-watering tomato planter. And it's doing great. So if you have any experience growing these, let me know how they do for you in the winter. I know they'll die back in my climate, but I'm hoping to bring them indoors, and I'm wondering, will they continue to bloom for me if I do so? So we'll see. I like that the self-watering hose here. Let's see if I can find it. I've shown it to you guys in another video, but yeah, right down here, that's where I can drain the water, and I have a plug that comes on that, so if I move it indoors, I'll just plug up that hose so it won't drain out. You do have to kind of monitor that water because it will get stagnant. You want to make sure that your water doesn't get anaerobic that's in there. So I do drain it periodically just to make sure I'm putting fresh water down there. Okay, so I'm an affiliate for this company as well as the GreenStalk. And if you use my code RG5, you'll get 5% off your purchase. I'll leave all the information down below. Now this morning when I walked out here, there was a beautiful butterfly enjoying this hanging basket. So there's that. And then of course over here I'm using this planter for tomatoes, and I've picked all of the Cherokee Purple off of this one. And I am letting this planter, the original, hang in there with some of the cherry tomatoes. I'm pretty sure I've got another good crop of these that are going to come back for me as the weather cools down a little bit. I can see here, this is one of the dwarf tomato plants. So I'm letting this just kind of hang out, see what happens before I tear everything out and plant spinach. But that's what I'm intending for that planter when it's done. And then, of course, some bush beans. These are the yellow potted bush beans. And then a lot of more Tulsi basil. And the bush beans, I've had loads and loads of beans this year. They're so easy to grow in these planters. Just the most easy thing I think you can grow are the bush beans. And then, of course, the nasturtiums are really pretty, always pretty. And then all of the basil. So I have loads and loads of basil. Been enjoying so many tomatoes. I went out to my river garden this week, picked a lot of Cherokee purple tomatoes, and I'll try to show you guys what that looks like when, of course, I don't water it because I'm not there, but I do water it when I do visit. But otherwise, it pretty much depends on rainfall. So hopefully I'll give you a video on that soon. And then one more thing I wanted to point out, we are going to expect some heat next week and this weekend, but I am trying to harden off some cabbage and lettuce for the green stalks I haven't quite cleaned out yet. So I'm getting a little bit jump started. Remember, you can always just put a lot of seed in like a cup and then easily divide those down and put them into your green stalks. You don't have to start them in each pot, each cell like I did over here. So I will make sure to leave you a link of how I showed you guys how to do that last year for my arugula. I just broadcast the seed kind of in a big container and then pulled it out and planted it that way just to kind of get a head start. So there you have it. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day.